Hello and welcome to Shifting Lanes Garage, your weekly automotive podcast, back on our regularly scheduled Wednesday. My name is Chad. With me, as always, is Mr.
This guy.
Yeah.
What has two thumbs and shows up sometimes? This guy.
Classic Greg, ladies and gentlemen. Classic Greg.
Classic me. I exist again. Hooray.
What's going on, Greg? How you doing, buddy?
Nothing much. Everything's good. I'm ready to chat some cars because cars are wonderful. And I'm excited because I get to do that. And it's great. And I don't have to talk about anything else other than cars right now. And that's the best thing ever. Oh, and my car got inspected. Finally. It's no longer 9 months out of inspection. So, yay.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, I know you were like 1 or 2 years, and I'm just like, I know, but when the moms are calling you out at the pickup line at school, it's just like, I probably should get this done.
That's more of a reason not to.
I know. I should be like, oh,
you should have just
why don't you mind your own business?
Why didn't you inspect these nuts?
Yes. And then my wife divorces me.
I mean, to be fair, if it hasn't happened already, you're probably okay.
Yeah, it's probably right. It's a good point. That's a very good point.
Oh, man. But that's good that you're being, a decent member of your community, yes. I guess.
Yeah, it's fine, I guess.
But, hey, you're not in a winter jacket tonight, so that's a win.
I know, big win. I still got my heater going, but hey, look, at least it's just a nice, sweatshirt that I got going on. So I'm excited that I don't have to bundle up like Nanook of the freaking North.
And we, as people who don't like listening to your jacket rustle, are excited as well.
We, as in mostly you.
Almost entirely me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, Greg.
Yes.
Why don't you give the ladies and gentlemen a free preview of what we're going to be talking about tonight?
All right. Well, here's what we're going to be talking about. We've got multiple topics.
On tonight's program.
Yes. Tonight, we talk about things. So there's a couple of different topics. I don't know why I just did this, signifying there's 5. There's not. 3 specific topics we're going to talk about. First is a GT86, which doesn't sound all that interesting. It's a great car, but there's something you may have seen on the cover photo for this stream that is very interesting about it. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about a little bit about the new Honda Prelude and the new Dodge Charger and how those are sort of related currently. And then the last thing we were going to talk about is little Toyota stuff. And how Toyota is spinning off another brand, which is wild. So,
is Scion making a comeback?
Funny enough, actually, yes. I know you said that as a joke, but they're actually turning like Polaris and like Razors and stuff, like the off-road like buggies and shit. They're actually creating Scion as their side project for that now. They're renaming it as Scion, and I'm just like, guys, it was an automotive company. We don't need to rebrand everything. Like, you can call it something else. There are lots of words. You can make up a word. It doesn't even need to be a word. Scion. I'm sure it's a word somewhere. You can just make up a word. You don't need to call it freaking Scion. Whatever. But yes, Scion is actually making a comeback. So I know that was a joke, but you're actually 100% correct.
The best kind of correct.
Technically, you are correct. So let's talk about the GT86 first, because it's actually one of the most interesting things I'd say I've seen in a little bit. GT86, great car. We've driven it multiple times, whether it be the Scion FRS, the BRZ, Gen 1, Gen 2, whatever. They've always been great little cars. Little Mazda Miata Fighters, which is a car that I'll mention, not even in this one, but again, in a later thing that we're going to be talking about. But if you are into anime at all, you may know that there's an old anime called Initial D, where the guy drives a Toyota 86, Torino 86, I believe it's called. I forget what the actual designation is, but it's got the AE86, classic white, black, two-tone, very cool Japanese lettering on the side. I don't know if it's kanji or what the symbols are, but man, super cool. And there's a company that now is doing that with the GT86, and it's a body kit. It's not as boxy as the AE86, obviously, because it's not from the 1980s. But it turns the GT86 into this Initial D freaking two-tone with stripes and super sick lettering. Like, it just turns it into an Initial D, a modernized Initial D car. And it's so cool. Like, I'm a huge dork. I love anime. I'm a huge fan of Initial D. Or actually not Initial D. I'm a huge fan of like Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff. And I love Japanese culture. And just seeing this is so cool. But the best part about it is they've made it an actual body kit. They didn't just slap like paint and decals and stuff like that on it. They made it so that it has like wide body, it is properly done, and it has freaking pop-up headlights, which we should all say, and I know Chad's going to disagree with me here, every car should have pop-up headlights. Because look at how cool this looks. It's awesome. You're muted, and I'm glad you're muted because I can see you mouthing wrong, and I'm glad that you were muted for that.
To paraphrase one of my all-time favorite television characters,
Dr. Cox?
Dr. Cox.
I know it's coming.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
No.
You're wrong. Look, I understand I'm in the minority when it comes to pop-up headlights. I don't know what it is. There's a very small list of cars, in my estimation, where they actually do look good. Yeah, but there's also a part of me, it's like, oh, great. At nighttime, I'm going to decrease my car's aerodynamic efficiency. Not that I think about my car's aerodynamic efficiency much, but it's like, hey, deploying parachute mode.
And I will say it actually kind of works on this car with all the stuff that it's done. It's not the same as the old one, obviously, but it's done well enough that I'm like, I can get down with this. This is pretty cool. So let's talk about the actual tuner that did this. This is called the Neo 86. So NEO, like the one from the Matrix. Neo 86. It's a modified GTR86, clearly inspired by Initial D, obviously. Here we go. It's a Toyota Sprinter Trueno, aka the AE86. I'm trying to find the company that did this. Where is it?
Is it Neo 86?
Yeah. Is it Neo is the company?
I have no idea.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. Result Japan. So like results, like test results. Result
I thought you, sir. I thought you literally Googled it. It's like, who made the Neo 86 body kit? Result Japan.
Google results Japan. No, that would be hilarious. But no, it's literally called Result Japan. The company behind the mod will be showing the Neo 86 at the Tokyo Auto Salon later this week, which is a show that always gets really cool stuff thrown at it because Japan plus like crazy auto show always brings out like the wild things. So I'm excited to see what happens with it.
That is the one, like the Tokyo Auto Salon is kind of like one of their big auto shows. And to be fair, it's on a very, very short list of auto shows I'd actually get excited to go to. Take nothing away. I mean, the foundation on which Shifting Lanes was founded was at the New York International Auto Show.
Yep.
I am not going to take a dump on them, but I have very severe automotive ADD, and there's only so many booths I can walk by and be like, oh, there's a crossover. There's a crossover. There's a crossover. Oh, cool. Pickup truck crossover. Like, there's only so many of that before I'm like, I see like 1.5 things I can report on here, and I have to be in New York City to do this. Pass.
Well, I mean, to be honest, we did start going there when it was a lot more interesting back in 2014 when, oh, by the way, they unveiled the freaking Jaguar F-Type there, which is like, oh, wow, we're all in love with that. John Hamm was there to unveil the new S-Class. Like, it was a different. Just 12 years ago was a very different.
Christian
time.
von Koenigsegg was there.
Was that 2014 or 2015?
I believe it was 2014.
Yeah,
because I was actually looking at that picture not that long ago. Because one of the automotive Discord groups I'm in, we were talking about Koenigsegg and stuff like that. I'm like, haha, fun story.
I met that guy. And
I met the man, and boy howdy, looking at that picture, I'm never shaving my beard. I'm not saying this is reflection perfection, so to speak, but me without a beard, forget it. Ain't never ever.
It's not happening again. Yeah, same. But yeah, like 2014 was a different time. There was a lot more things that were interesting as opposed to crossover, SUV, crossover, SUV, hatchback, lifted hatchback, kind of a hatchback, not really a hatchback, probably a crossover. Like it's that kind of thing now. So yeah,
we were there for the Genesis of Genesis.
That's true. We were
as
there
a
for
brand.
the Genesis of Genesis. That's true. That was like their first year,
and now they're cool.
They are.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
They make great. No, we were responsible. Genesis will take our free cars now. Thank you very much. So yeah, but back to the 86. This thing is very cool. It is a car where just to finish off the Tokyo Auto Salon thing, they're going to show it off at the end of this week at the Tokyo Auto Salon. They will be starting to take orders at that time. But it is unclear on if this body kit will be available or coming to the United States. Either way, you can bet your bottom dollar that someone will get it over here and probably use it. I would be very interested in that because it's very cool and unique.
I'm going to bet on TJ Hunt.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. TJ Hunt. Who's the other guy that's in that crew? Oh, God, I'm going to forget his name. Also a drifter. Famous
Adam
YouTuber.
LZ.
Yeah, Adam LZ. I was gonna say it's either TJ or Adam LZ will probably.
Yeah, he's on his big block swapping BMW character arc.
True. Maybe Colette will do it because she's down with that kind of stuff. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this thing? I think it's cool. Obviously, I've waxed poetic about it already. What do you think?
So, do I think it's number one? I like the idea of sort of. This isn't a resto mod, but it is retro design, I guess is the best way to put it. And obviously because Toyota is, took a long time to figure out what the hell they wanted to name this thing, right? Like, it was the FRS, then it was the GT86, now it's the GR86, something we'll touch on in a minute. But like the 86 name. So it's obviously hearkening back to that AE86, which is JDM royalty, which is one of those cars that regardless of what engine you have under the hood is always cool. So you could have a turbocharged 3S GTE making 500 horsepower. Cool. You could have a naturally aspirated 4E. God damn it, this is going to annoy me. Naturally aspirated beams engine under the hood with ITBs barely making over 220 horsepower. Cool as fuck. JDM fanboys would probably consider it high heresy. But again, you can put an LS under there. You could put a 1UZ. Like, no matter what it is, it's cool. And I think it's one of the few cars in today's world where you can put a relatively low power engine in. You can have fun in a lot of cars that don't make a ton of horsepower, and it just becomes cool. And sort of the GR86 and its Subaru cousin, the BRZ, it's kind of picked up that engine swappability mantle.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
There's no engine you can't fit in these things. Obviously, LSs, you've seen 2Js. I've seen people put Coyotes in these things, which you think would be impossible. Turns out it's not.
Yeah.
And everything. So, like, there's that connective tissue between the eras.
Yeah.
And again, it's a car that you don't need giga horsepower in to have fun in.
No.
And I think this body kit with the right engine makes for an incredibly interesting car. Yeah, I'm not a biggest fan of pop-up headlights, but who cares? This is something that's going to garner enthusiasm. I have a sneaking suspicion the body kit itself may not be legal, just based on the bumper height and
probably
that sort of stuff. So like,
that's the biggest thing.
However, it is customization, so like that might be a loophole. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But like, I'm just sitting here thinking, you put that body kit, you put the right, let's just say K24 under the hood, with a, even like a naturally aspirated stock head, stock bottom end version of the engine, you're still making 250, 260 horsepower. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and most importantly, it is interesting. It does not look like other stuff on the road. It does not look like, the slow evolution of the 86/BRZ platform, which, in my estimation, the first gens were the best looking ones. They've since gotten a little bigger and more bulbous isn't the right word, but
rounded. It's like
rounded, and they just have like a more swollen appearance.
Yeah.
Like, in the originals, whether it was
Slightly
the
more
case or
muscular.
not, you always got the feeling that there was no extra fat.
Yep.
Right? Like there was no style for style's sake. It's like, okay, the hood has to be this high, therefore it will be this high and no higher. That sort of stuff. Like, but I'm here for it. I'm all for these types of like, retroism, right? Like the best part, an 886 is like 30, 40 years old now.
Yeah.
So there's a huge, and if it wasn't for like Initial D and some of the people in the drifting community keeping these things alive, the younger generations wouldn't necessarily have any clue what they are.
Yeah, that's true.
So stuff that does harken back to the history, to some of the icons, to some of the old school stuff, I think is cool, whether I like the appearance of it or not. And I do really like the appearance of this, minus the headlights. But even with this, it works. It just feels like it works. Which is, to put pop-up headlights on a modern car
And make it halfway work is impressive.
and make it work is a kudos to Google Results Japan, or whatever they're called.
Results Japan. No, I agree with everything you just said, honestly. You know what I'd love to drop in here? Do you remember the engine? It was from a Jag.
The white block?
No. That Alex Kirsten put into Phil, the Miata.
I was like, whoa, family show here.
No, the many years ago, it was like a kit that you could drop in. It was a Jag 6 with like ITBs and stuff like that. It was a beautiful engine, and it was a great kit because it was just like literally plug and play. And he put it in. I think it's still in the car. I don't think he's engine swapped that since. But that car, or that engine in this car would go so hard. It's only like 240 horsepower at the crank, but like that's all you need, and you'd get like the craziest. I think it's an inline 6. I want to say.
Are you talking about the guy who did the AJ swap in a Miata?
Maybe, I don't know. He did it when he was still at Car Throttle.
It was the green Miata, right?
No, it was the red. It's the red one. Wait,
See.
it might be a green one. It might be a green one as the test car. Hang on, I'm gonna find this now.
No, you don't have to, because I'm sending you a significantly better version of what you were just saying.
Okay, great.
There you go. Basically, the Rocketeer Jaguar AJ 3-liter V6.
That's it.
The
Rocketeer. Thank you.
That can make anywhere from like 295 to 360 horsepower.
Yes.
They just recently did a Drive Tribe, I want to say. It was either Drive Tribe or Haggerty just did a video on one of the modern ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an engine that's very much caught my attention for the hypothetical, probably never going to happen, but god damn it, I'm looking at it like it's going to. that engine that I would drop in the 510 build.
Oh, hell yes. This thing in a 510 would be chef's kiss. Yeah, that's a gorgeous engine. It's absolutely stunning. And it is a V6, not an I6. But yeah, I mean, I remember them firing this thing up. It sounds biblical. It sounds so freaking good. But I mean, if they can get 350 plus out of this thing, that engine in this car is, it's almost perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need a ton of horsepower to make an 86.
No.
And in this case, the modern interpretation of the 86.
No. I've always said all it's needed is 270 horsepower. That is all that car's ever needed, whether it be naturally aspirated, turbo, whatever. That car it doesn't need 300, but anything, honestly, anything from 250 to 300, preferably right in the middle, is like, I think, superb for that car. But either way, this little 86 that they've got going on from Result Japan, I think it's cool. I hope that it does come to the U.S. I hope that the regulations don't smash it down, but excuse me, we'll find out. We'll find out this week, probably, because it's at Tokyo Auto Salon. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably have a reel on it, I would imagine, because it's pretty sick.
Yes, a reel brought to you by Gregson.
Yes, that's right. That'll probably be my Friday or Saturday one.
I actually like the fact that you have to look really hard to see the 86 in the rear end with the way the paint and the flank. Like, they didn't really do much to the rear end, but it kind of works. I mean, the taillights give it away. They got rid of the awkward reverse light that's like, look, it's a T. No, it isn't. And nobody gives a fuck. Like, hey, we're 20 minutes in. I can say that.
It's fine. No, I agree. It's some design decisions were made. The right ones still questionable. But no, I agree. I think it looks awesome. Especially from the rear. The front's cool with the pop-up headlights. It gives you that like old school feel. But the back looks so wide. It looks super aggressive. I like that they didn't go with this quad freaking exhaust bullshit that happens on a lot of these cars. It's still the same 2-pipe setup.
In this picture, it looks like it's the stock exhaust.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, but either way, it looks awesome. I'm a huge fan.
It has, and I'm not saying a lot, but just in a general vibiness to it, it has a wisp of slant nose Porsche to it.
It does. You're right. I would say
a wisp of the 9. Like, it's not full on there, but it has a wisp of the 935 slant nose.
The front end, very much so, yes, because of how the hood goes and it slants down, and the pop-up headlights. I think that helps to sort of like, make the illusion. I do see that as well. It's very cool. It's very cool.
And again, it's really interesting to see a company do something like that, like with a modern car.
Yeah, agree.
Usually modern body kits that try to make the car look old, because it's what I'm going to call the Alpine A110 thing that like 4 people in this country actually give a shit about syndrome. And that is, it's really hard to put retro styling onto modern hard points with modern safety. Like, it's a really hard trick to pull off.
It is, for sure.
And this does it in a way where it, like, you could tell with the front bumper and the way the front, we'll call it splitter, is kind of acting. That's straight off of the AE86. And everything. And it has the pop-up headlights, and it has the graphics pack. It has enough of a nod without trying to be as close as a faithful recreation as humanly possible, because it just wouldn't have worked. And it would have been prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
But I do want to. People in chat do have thoughts.
Go ahead and do that. I'm just realizing that my computer is not charging for some reason, so please go ahead and do that. I shall return.
Get on the bike.
Yeah, right.
So we have Munib Peskic I am sincerely sorry if I am absolutely butchering the pronunciation of your name. I apologize. He says it's dope AF. I certainly think it fits within that realm. Sean is here. He was trapped in a game. Crap, there's a movie about that. What is it? Ender's Game? Something? Don't know. If you're new to the lore, Sean has recently found VR. So, Dusty, greeting from Kodiak. Our resident Alaskan is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Sean goes, the A86 is an okay car and platform. It's iconic because of modern anime. Before that, nobody really cared about the car. With an abundance of respect, I disagree. It is a car that effectively launched drift culture, especially over in Japan. Again, there are cars that you don't need giga power to slide around, and from all accounts, they are relatively easy to slide around with not a ton of power. So, and you have that sense of enough time passing to where we either never got it, or so much time has passed where it's kind of forgotten, where it has that retro cool to it. Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I mean, as a thing, it's a relatively underpowered front-engine, rear-wheel drive Corolla with a live rear axle in the back. So, but it does, like I said, its importance to car culture, I don't think is overstated. And like we talked about it, you could put almost any engine you want in there and have a good time. Sean's talking about the Jaguar V6 we were talking about. He goes, it's basically a Ford Duratec. Effectively, yes. But, touched by the hands of Jaguar. What else are we talking about? Let's do that while we wait for Greg. Let's see here. Dale Wolf over on Facebook goes, it's awkward. I also can understand that sentiment as well. A lot of times with these types of body kits where you're getting a mismatch or a colliding of eras, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Like the pop-up headlights, for example. They are very square because on the original 86, they were very square. But on a modern car that never intended to have pop-up headlights, I could see that being appearing awkward. You know what I mean? So I can get that. Like stuff like this is never going to be a 100% everybody loves kind of a thing. But that's okay because the people who love it, and the people who don't, and therefore, again, it just sort of works. Sean goes, I'm one of the A110 likers. I knew you were always weird. Sean goes, I would argue the 240, 180, and a few others that are not the 86. But from all the old early drift videos I've seen, it was rare to see one of those in those clips. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, in any drift video I have ever seen, an 86 has been in it at some point. Whether it be from 30 years ago on VHS or a VHS rip, I guess, at this point, because it's not like my PC's hooked up to or my cell phone is hooked up to a VHS player or DVD player, whatever. I don't know why I'm continuing this, so we're just moving on. To even modern day stuff, you see them. And again, the anime made it popular, but the reason the anime was so popular was because for being a cartoon, it was pretty damn faithful to, we'll just say, the source material, i.e. the, what you want to call it, the drift community, etc. Okay, we've caught up there. But again, like, I think why this thing is cool, more so than just the way it looks or what the history is or what the car it's trying to emulate is, and all of that, is again because someone has shown the way to take retro, specifically from the retro we grew up on, right? Like when we grew up, when Greg and I grew up, we grew up on what our dads wanted when they were in their younger years. You know, American muscle or old school sports cars, that sort of a thing. Whereas when we were growing up, you know, a lot of us drifted away from, you know, number one, when Greg and I were born in the 80s, muscle cars were kind of at their lowest. I mean, there were some exceptions. I'm not going to sit here and say there were no exceptions. There obviously were exceptions. And everything. And then, like, JDM influence had been in the country for a while, and slowly performance versions, then the James, you know, right smack in the middle of the 90s and early 2000s. That's when Greg and I were in high school and college. So you had stuff like the whole, you know, the Supra, the RX-7, the mythical, never gonna see one Nissan Skyline / GTR, the 3000 GT from Mitsubishi, the Evos, the Imprezas. Those were doing battle and rally and stuff like that. So, like, it's cool to see something from our youth getting sort of the retro treatment. And it's also not cool because it makes me feel old as fuck. But it's just like I said, that concept. And again, I would love to see somebody apply this to a bunch of different cars. And like and hold on, I just want to bring this up one more time. And arguably my favorite thing about this entire car is the fact that it's flush. It's a flush wide body.
Yeah. That's nice.
You know, it doesn't have the riveted on look that became so in vogue that I personally just can't. Nothing makes a car look cheaper than a riveted on wide body.
Yeah.
In my estimation.
There's one car that has ever existed that it actually looks halfway decent on. And it's not like it's like the cheapo riveted on, and it's the 240s. Not Volvo, the Nissan 240s. Because it has sort of an old school mechanical feel on that car specifically for some reason in my brain. I don't know why it works. Every other car, I look at that and I'm just like, that's ugly as sin. Get it off that.
I also think it's because those cars were beaten to high hell. And like, it's like,
true.
Well, this is an improvement over what the previous, like,
Yes.
But I have two things. Number one, apparently, and I'm not kidding here, commenter over on YouTube named Google YouTube Mail Maps.
What?
I'm not kidding. It's at Google YouTube Mail or Gmail Maps. Apparently their grandfather had a Lambo.
That's awesome. What Lambo? What
Yes.
year? And why? I need answers.
Yes.
That's pretty dope.
Well, I mean, they are Google, they are YouTube, they are Gmail, and they are Maps. So they can pretty much cover all the W's that a good journalist.
Search yourself and tell me those things.
Oh my gosh, I'm just thinking of the look within yourself. Know your feelings to be true.
Yeah.
Give in to the dark side.
Yeah. You were the chosen one.
You were supposed to destroy the Yahoo, not join it.
Internet Star Wars memes. Also just Star Wars. Hilarious.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert.
And then one other thing, I don't know if you heard while you were gone, is...
Oh, I missed it all.
So, what would you say is the quintessential car in Japanese drift culture, or like the birth of drift culture? I maintain it's the AE86. Sean is disagreeing with me, as Sean does, which is fine. We can all have our differing opinions, and that's totally and completely fine.
I mean, the birth of it was technically the Hakosuka, I think, because I don't think that was an all-wheel drive car. I think it was rear-wheel driving. What most of Japan was doing in the 60s and 70s when it came out. I think that's the car that everyone took. And then the one that actually like very much brought it into mainstream culture and popularized it and made it into what it is today is the AE86. Like that for sure is, but I believe the start of it was the Hakasuka. I don't think that there was something before that did it. That's my guess, and I'm reasonably sure on that, but I might be wrong, but I'm reasonably sure.
Google Suite. I'm just gonna say that instead of the entire name.
I like that. Good abbreviation. That as a writer, I
G Suite.
appreciate that abbreviation. Very nicely done.
I've now eliminated even more letters.
Edited.
He or she goes. I'm not sure what gender G Suite is.
It says
Our future AI overlord goes, it was a Jarma. Forgot the year. My goal is to find it again. Well.
A Jarma. What the? Spell that.
His spelling was Jarma. And the YouTube chat has disappeared.
Oh. It's JRM, and it's gone. We've turned into the South Park meme, and it's gone.
That's so weird.
Jarma. I don't think I know that one.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to Google it myself. Oh, Yalpa? Jalpa?
I'd love to tell you his spelling, but literally
Oh no, sorry, never mind. The Jarama or Yarama. 2 plus
the Shawarma.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen this car. 2+2 Grand Tourer produced from 1970 to 1976. Successor to the Islero. That the Islero I know, but I never really realized it had a I never realized it had a successor. Oh, that's cool. Oh, this thing's dope. I love this. And then what was the one that came after this? I think it was the pink one that Stradman had.
I don't know.
It's an old one. All right, now I got to go old Lambos.
Let's do this.
Maybe that's the Yelp I was thinking of. Either way.
Oh God,
That's Diablo. Old Lambo models. I'm gonna. There we go. Oh, Espada. The Lamborghini Espada. That was it. The wagon, the fastback looking thing. That's the one I thought it was. But the Yarama, that's cool. Very cool that your family owned that. Very sweet. Chad, has YouTube chat come back?
No, but that's what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. It looks so weird. It's like, look, I am Lamborghini. I have made the hatchback.
Yes. I have invented the fastback. You didn't invent that. In Italia, I did. Shut to your face.
That is so weird. I honestly, YouTube, are we even? Oh no, we are live. YouTube's been having some streaming issues today. Now that I think about it, but YouTube chat just got
nuked itself.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
a bummer.
Do this.
Time to go on natively.
I mean, we're still live over there. It looks like. I think.
All right, hang on. I did. Oh my God, I have so many things open. Christ.
Any rate, Peter, and the list of names that are interesting tonight. We have Peter Parker over on YouTube chat.
Peter Parker, love it.
He goes, the Australian Holden SLR 5000 looked good with its riveted-on parts coming from a 70s Ford man. You heard it here first, folks. Spider-Man. Ford guy.
Spider-Man.
I mean, not at all Spider-Man. Next up, Miles Morales in chat.
His name is Spider-Man. It's not like Phil Spiderman.
Now I gotta see what this looks like. Processing. Where's a good? I swear there's like 5 pictures of this thing. There we go. Save image. Save. Open with photos. And let's just see if it worked. It did not. Sack of... Greg, speak.
No.
I'm in a pitched battle with technology.
All right, we'll start talking about our
There it is.
Next thing. You got it?
Yes.
All right. I like that you were like, you speak, and I'm like, and you're done.
Well, I didn't realize I was assuming because the way technological things have been working of late. Listen, we just saw all of YouTube just get Thanos snapped out of our fucking live show.
Yeah, true.
For reasons.
This thing's cool. SLR 5000. This looks like if a 510 and a Grand National had a glorious baby.
You know what it reminds me of? You remember the I guess late 90s Caprices, the compact version?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because Chevy, Australia. Yeah. This is pretty dope.
No, it's a Torana.
It's a Torana.
Sean,
I know.
Sean will like this.
Yes. It also has the bolted on the bolted on fender flares that you were just waxing poetic about.
Well, yeah, that's because the G Suite over it. Maybe it was because we acknowledged it was sentient. It just deleted everything.
Possibly.
It has begun.
Hey, you bowed to the overlords. It's not like you
and then it
didn't have
immediately,
reverence.
and then that's immediately when it proverbially hit the fan.
Oh God, that's great.
At any rate, Greg.
Yes.
What are we talking about next?
To the next topic du jour. We're going to talk about some car sales. And while that sounds very not interesting to talk about, it's super interesting in the sense of 2 modern things that came out over the last year and last month that have had wildly different launches than their companies had wanted for them. First and foremost, we're going to talk about one. This is a hilarious statistic. We're going to talk about the new Dodge Charger. Obviously, it came out. It was EV only. It was going to get the 6-pack eventually, blah, blah, blah. So this has not been a good launch for the new Charger. It's selling, and I think that's about all you can say about it. It's not selling well, but according
is it like
to
99.9% of it still on dealer lots?
No. When I did a video about on dealer lots, I think it was in the 20%, which is in the top 10. I think it's number 8 on that list. But it is still a lot of inventory on lots. So, pardon me. According to Stellantis, and this is from the article I sent you, Dodge was down 28% year over year, moving 101,927 units through model year 2025. That is not a lot. The Charger, Durango made up the most of those sales with 81,000. The Charger did even worse, racking up a mere 7,421 units. So you've gone from...
That's amazing. There are 7,421 idiots in this country.
There's one around here I see all the time. And I'm like, why did you do that? But... Here's the statistic.
You know what's going to end up happening? Because it's not selling, because nobody likes it, because it's weird. In 30 years, it is going to become the AMC gremlin of our generation. Or actually, I guess technically it would be Gen whatever the fuck's after us.
Right. Gen Alpha?
Z, Alpha.
I think it's Gen Z.
fucked, whatever you want to call them.
I can't wait till they come back around and go Gen Beta, and I'm just like, that's not a good term. You don't want that one.
Well, not for nothing, Gen Alpha. It's like, okay, we've now gone back to the testing phase.
I know, pretty much.
We're in alpha testing right now,
Yeah.
but like because they didn't sell and it was so weird and hated, it's gonna become like a niche collector thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So here's the crazy stat that I was going to throw out at you. If you look back at 2024,
the dewy slopes of 2024.
that's right. So Dodge had the Charger and Challenger, the old ones. They ended production as 2023 model years. Like they were done then, right? They had enough left in the tank, like for actual inventory wise, that they sold combined over 60,000 units the following year. So they discontinued a car and it still sold, well, 2 cars, and combined they still sold 60,000 units the year after. That's pretty crazy, right? So when you look at it from that sense, so the rest of the sentence kind of goes, the rest of the paragraph goes like this. Looking at just the 2-door Challenger, which practically speaking is a more apt comparison to this new Charger, obviously, doesn't really make anything better because that car sold 27,056 units on its own in 2024. Now, that car being discontinued sold 3 times, well, almost 4 times as much as this brand new car did in 2025.
Or a more insane statistic is, hold on, I want to actually get the math on this one.
Yeah.
So, if you continue reading the article, it says, in fact, Dodge even sold 1,800 of these cars, the 2-door Challengers, in 2025, which means it sold 24% of the number of the brand spanking new one.
Yes, that's the number I was going to bring up next. Is 1,800 people looked at the new one and said no, and immediately went to the old one and bought it. 24%. I'd be willing to wager that if they put the old one back into production and got rid of the new one, sales would absolutely fucking skyrocket because people like the old one. This new one sucks. It really does. It's not.
Well, we were talking about retro modern.
Yeah, exactly. Like
as we've said ad nauseum here, nobody did it better than Mopar and the Challenger.
They
modern Challenger.
Absolutely nailed it. And I don't know why car companies do this when they have a model that's working and they just change it for no reason. And this is where I was talking about earlier that I was going to bring up the Miata. It has nothing to do with muscle cars, whatever. But do you believe that the ND Miata, the new one, it's been on the market for 10 years now? It's been out for 10 years.
That's right. I do remember actually seeing that at a car show. And
correct.
I have not been to a car show.
Yes. It was unveiled in 2016 at the New York Auto Show. It had a 7.7% increase in sales last year. Like, when you have something that works, why are you changing it? I get the Miata.
I mean, to be fair, the Challenger was on sale for some ungodly amount of time.
Sure, it was 14 years, and it had largely not changed a lot. But here's the thing: in its last year of production, it was the most popular muscle car, and that was before it was announced when it was going to be completely axed. It beat the Mustang. That's insane. The Mustang doesn't get beat. It did in its last year of production. And you can say, it's because the last year people wanted to do it. The contrary to that point is that it still sold 60,000 between both of them, 27,000 for the Challenger the year after it was discontinued. People love the car. I made a video in 2021 on it. It was becoming the modern American 911 in the sense that not on the same performance scale as Porsche, but in the sense that it's being tweaked every year to be better and better and better and better, and people like it more and more and more and more. And then they nuked it And I'm like, why? What are you doing? This is the dumbest decision ever.
The French.
I mean, honestly, yeah, that's kind of what it boils down to. And thankfully, that regime is now getting completely pushed out of Stellantis and of Dodge. And now we actually have people coming back in that know how to sell cars and know what consumers want. So with all of this said, the fact that the TRX is back and has a big old V8 in it, this new Charger, I would imagine we're going to get a Challenger at some point to potentially, maybe have. I don't know what they're going to do because they have this Charger that's a 2-door and a 4-door. I don't know what they're going to do, whatever. Either way, there's going to be a V8 in it at some point, for sure. They've already confirmed that. They've basically been like, we're dumb if we don't do this, and we'll have one eventually. I would imagine we're also going to get a wide body variant because when they brought that out, that's when the Challenger and Charger sales from the old ones started to really sort of take hold. So with all that said, I think that we're going to be seeing a new old Dodge very soon in mentality and bringing stuff back. In the same vein, the new Honda Prelude just came out. And do you remember when we were talking about how everyone in Japan was going like nuts for it? Oh, it's a new Prelude. They thought they were gonna have like 300 pre-orders. They ended up having like 2,400 pre-orders. Do you remember talking about that the one night? Muted.
Unfortunately, yes.
So, did you look at the article I sent you on the Prelude? Okay. How many units do you think sold in its first month in the U.S.?
Less than 200.
That's correct.
I didn't see the article, but I've seen it floating around the ye olde social media.
Oh, all right. So 174.
I mean, it's not shocking at all when you consider the fact that we've seen dealers marking these things up like there's some sort of Type R that everybody wants, and there was absolutely no buzz. The only buzz for these things was from Honda or from Honda shills, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Apparently Honda hit 100K. I don't know what that means, but Honda hit 100K. Yay, Honda. But it's just like, again, what we saw. So we started the show with that third-party Result Japan doing their interpretation of an amalgamation of the original AE86 with a modern...
I heard that.
Yeah, apparently my PlayStation is updating.
So solid.
And mute. And how, when done really, really well, it generates buzz, even though, like, they're not a big company with a big following, right? Like, this was, hey, I had never heard of Result Japan. They may be bigger than I'm giving them credit for. I apologize if that is. I'd never heard of them. But all of a sudden, this thing started blowing up around the internet. You know, why? Because it did retro in the modern age well. Why was the Challenger why was the last Challenger so successful? Because it did retro well in the modern age. It was a time machine. It allowed you to have modern amenities, but give you the feeling that you were in a different era. And the Challenger was very true to that. The Prelude was the answer to a question literally nobody was asking. And not for nothing, the Prelude was always a long hood, short deck. It looked the part as a sports car. Not a, I don't know what you want to call it, but Civic that went to finishing school. I don't know. But it didn't look special. It doesn't have a special drivetrain. It has some special suspension components, but not much. And they slapped the price tag that really you're buying a hybrid Civic with some sporty bits, and the price tag didn't match. So the fact that it's not selling, I am shocked.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not shocked.
You know what would have been great? You know what?
NS2000.
Well, yes. What? Stop telling me where I'm going already. What would have been great to put the Prelude name on that is very similar to the first car we talked about, but not with a body kit? A rear-wheel drive, small car.
The Volvo V60 Polestar. Technically, the first car we talked about in this show.
Not that one, God damn it. No, but what the Prelude should have been was a small 2-door rear-wheel drive manual transmission car with low horsepower in the 200s to battle the 86. Why are you making a Civic hybrid when you could just make a fucking Civic hybrid? Just make a Civic hybrid. It doesn't need to be made a Prelude.
Here's the thought.
You don't need to have
Here's the thought. You have the Type R. Why not, I don't know, just throw the SI badge on what's now the Prelude?
Sure.
Uh-oh. Did we lose the Greg?
I think that's a great idea. I do. To make it sell better. Hello?
Okay, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, good.
Internet tonight, man. Holy shit.
So I know we're having some problems, but we're persevering. I think that's a good idea, and that would sell more cars for sure. But it's not what Honda needs. They could do that, but what Honda would need, Honda and Toyota are just like natural. They're not enemies, but like, how awesome would it be if you had two competing like small affordable sports cars that isn't a Miata?
Well, here's the thing, right? Like,
right?
In that entire exercise, don't even bother bringing the... Here's the biggest problem with the Hondas of that era. You had the Civic, you had the Del Sol, you had the Prelude, which technically wasn't on a Civic chassis, although it kind of was, but it had different tech, like four-wheel steering and stuff like that. It was a much nicer vehicle than the Civic or whatever. But you had a bunch of small front-wheel drive cars hovering around in the same space. I honestly think, what if you did a modern Civic hatchback, and that, like, not the Type R style hatch. I'm talking something that is a true, like your car, a flat back. Well, not flat, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
Or what have you. But like, if you're gonna bring a small rear-wheel drive, naturally aspirated, 4-cylinder and powered sports car to compete with the 86 and the Miata, you do way better to just call it an S2000 and just keep it away from the... Prelude was never rear-wheel drive to begin with. So, like, it's not even like... And not for nothing, not that many people were clamoring for a Prelude. Like, they have...
No, literally nobody. Nobody wanted a Prelude. Nobody needed a Prelude.
The answer to the question nobody was asking.
Correct. Exactly.
Which is why, like, the car just didn't make sense. And it's a... I will say this, it is somewhat surprising to see Honda be this tone deaf. Stellantis, I expected it. As soon as the French took over, it was okay. When are they killing the muscle cars? Like that was like job one, day one for, I don't know, Pierre Le Jackass or whatever the fuck his name was. You know, like whatever. Like that was we hoped it wasn't, but it was kind of expected, and it ended up happening. Same thing. Like it's the exact opposite with Honda. Like, Honda usually has a good finger on the pulse of what's going on. And look, I don't see the Prelude. Like, I see the Prelude sort of melting back into like, it's like, hey, it was here. Hey, has anyone seen the Prelude recently?
Yeah,
no?
It's 100% what's going to happen. They're going to
sell
like, they're going to
sell, or it's going to be, or because it's so popular in Japan, it's going to become a Japan only model. And then people over here is like, but we don't get the good stuff. That's not the good stuff, jackass. That is in fact the bad stuff. That is literally Type R vaporware. It has Type R bits, but you get the idea.
Yeah, they're going to end up selling 6,000 to 10,000 of these things over the course of like 3 to 4 years, and then they're going to kill the model again, and they're never going to bring it back because that's what happens when you let corporate freaking bigwigs make decisions of things that actual enthusiasts should be making. Like, they don't hire, like, everyone says that they're an enthusiast when they work at a car company. They're not.
They're a car enthusiast because car, in fact, gives them money, which of course they are enthusiastic about.
Correct. And we've been to auto shows and talked to a lot of these people. I'm talking a lot of these people. We talked to people from Rolls-Royce. We've talked to people from Volvo. We've talked to people from Honda, Maserati. Like, we've talked to actual corporate people. And I would say less than 30% of them were actual car people. And that's not good when you're trying to, like, most of these people are marketing and salespeople, and they can market and sell to anything. Like, I'm a marketing person. I know how to sell like pharmaceuticals to people. I'm a writer for a pharma ad agency. I know what I'm doing. I'm very good at it. I've honed my craft over the years. I'm not a pharmaceutical enthusiast. Like, it's sort of that same analog, right? You know, you get into a car company, you become very good at marketing. You've done it for 10, 15, 20 years, and you just become very adept at doing that thing. Doesn't make you a car enthusiast. Like,
No.
It's just how it works. And these people mostly are not car enthusiasts. They are very good at just selling things to people. And that's how it works. What car companies should really do is employ people that are actual car enthusiasts, but also marketing people. So that way they understand what the consumers want and need and how you can sell, but also that they can really understand what the consumer wants and needs and can sell them something that's actually interesting and that they want to get in an enthusiast perspective. So like, but it's not going to happen. Unfortunately.
No.
That's not a reality, but that's what should be happening.
Right. And I mean, here. So there's a couple things I wanted to touch on, and then we can wrap this up and then move on to our next thing, or more specifically, our next thing.
Because it's great. It is actually a good thing.
Well, actually, the next thing is I'm going to give Greg a topic at random and step aside for a moment. But,
yay, random topic time. Chat's going to be so excited.
Yep.
Hang on. Let me bring chat up again as I closed it out just 5 minutes
I have shown
ago.
you multiple times how to have chat up and at the ready.
Oh, I know. But I like doing it down here because it's just conversation for another day. My computer is pooping itself always now. So that's why I do it on here. But go.
Okay,
please,
at any rate,
please go.
Number one, as it pertains to the Charger, Challenger, whatever, V8 revival, I've said this multiple times, but I think it is worth repeating in the sense of, I think there's two things at play here. Number one, if you brought back the Charger, Challenger, one was the coupe, one was the sedan, blah blah blah, you're gonna piss off a lot of people who got the jailbreak or the last editions, right? So I think it's another, like, if you're going to go in and say we're not the same, you've done irreparable damage to the Charger Challenger nameplate in the moment. And how how that company's ability to view those products. I say let them ride out with the sunset, let you have your little 6-pack, your EV, your whatever the fuck else is in the model range that nobody wants. And you hit the reset button, and then you pull a page. Mopar's history has pages of great muscle cars. So for the sedan, you pick something new. I don't care what it is. Could be just pick something. For the coupe, do something different, new. Maybe call it the Barracuda. Maybe this time around you sort of play into the Plymouth side of the muscle car era. You know, you just kind of, it's new, it's different, and most importantly, it distances itself from the Charger name, which has such a bad Q rating at the moment. And then as far as like Honda is concerned, Honda was the master of making normal cars fun. There was a fun Accord, there was fun Civics, there was fun, right?
Yep.
This isn't 1998 or the early 2000s when Japan is flushed with cash. In case anyone was wondering, that's why we got the JDM Legends, the engines, the cars themselves, was because Japan was rolling in dough. So their R&D departments were humming. So that's why every engine seemingly is over-engineered. It's why every car seems to be like, that's why like there were 97 different variants of the Civic, right?
Yes.
That's not the case now. Just have fun Civics. You know, I'm willing to bet if you had a Civic that was just bare bones, made decent, I'm not even talking maybe 200 horsepower, but it was no frills. It had an infotainment system that did Android Auto, CarPlay, or like, I don't know, MS-DOS, but a really basic, nothing infotainment, like something that, ChatGPT to come up with on a weekend. I'm talking really simple, minimal effort, because you're just going to assume that the people buying your cars probably have an iPhone or an Android. But you have something there just in case they don't. Small, simple, fun, as light as you can make it, right? It doesn't have to be made out of luxurious materials or whatever. People will flock to it. You think people like the EK Civic because it made 10 bazillion horsepower?
No.
People will like that. I think we are heading towards... And the upshot is, guess what? That engine, not making a ton of power, you know what it's probably going to be? Pretty damn fuel efficient. And then, if you want to insert some buzz into the company, we know that Toyota's working on a new GR86, or whatever the hell they're going to call the replacement. We know that they're going to be working on a Supra replacement. Why not bring back the S2000 with a twist?
Yeah.
You have the S2000, call it something from the pages of Honda history. Call it something that's short and easy to pronounce in Japanese that just means purity or something. Right. Where it's a naturally aspirated, high compression, high revving engine that maybe makes 250 horsepower. And then maybe you have the S3000 or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Same chassis, insert turbo.
You're not wrong.
Because you know what the industry is severely lacking is an affordable sports car that makes about 300 to 350 horsepower that isn't, Mustang prices have skyrocketed. Supra prices are through the roof. The Nissan Z, it should not be as expensive as it is, and yet it is. It should be filling that $40,000 to $50,000 void in the sports car market, and they insist on not doing it.
Correct.
I'm just saying that's a big way to make a mark. But
you know who makes it better? You know who makes a great Civic now? Toyota. The Corolla lineup is what the old Civics all used to be, modernized. They're fun, chassis is great, it's rigid, and the whole lineup is fun to drive, even the base models, and it has a really hot version of it in the three pot in the GR. So Toyota makes better Civics than Honda does now.
Full circle back to the Corolla.
Honestly. That's right.
At any rate,
yes.
I know we talked about you'd probably put that AJ Rocketeer V6 into the whatever the hell the Neo 86 or whatever it was called.
Anything. That engine in anything I'm okay with, honestly.
Okay. Let's assume a world that doesn't exist. Let's assume a world where that engine does not exist, nor does the Duratec that it's based on exist.
Okay.
I'm on to you. And Sean in chat, because he would have been the first one to mention it.
Yes.
Miata, 86, whatever, that type of small car.
Sure.
Your ideal engine to swap into it, and it cannot be those engines. It can't be like a K-Series or any of those legendary Honda engines. It has to be something different. And if your answer is Volvo, you have to come up with a not Volvo answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Volvo can't be an answer here because that's usually what we go to. It's just because the 5-pot's so unique. So let's get rid of all Volvo answers. That's cool. And then we're talking about the Neo 86, right?
Neo 86 or even an AE 86, you get to pick the chassis. It's that small car. It could be one of those. It can be a Miata. It can be whatever. You pick the chassis. It's just got to be in that small rear-wheel drive family. And then you have to put the engine in it. But it can't be a usual suspect. 2J, LS, they're out. Coyote, it's out. Be unique. Wow me. Come up with something different.
Okay. I do have at least one answer to this. Well, first off, we've got 4 people watching on Facebook. I think we've been hovering between 4 and 10. There's nobody in chat right now talking. Start getting comments going. Steve, Sean can't be carrying this every single time. You guys are awesome. I love you. We need more people commenting. There's 4 people watching. I know there are more people than just Steve and Sean. Please, let's comment. Come on. Get going. What would you guys put into this car? I want to know. Let's get some comments. That would be the best. Now there's 3. I said that. I scared someone off. Damn it. Anyway, it's just Steve and Sean again. But I'm also just looking at Facebook. Sean goes Toyota 3S GTE. Great answer. That would be a very, very good answer to this question. I don't know the engine designation, but my first thought on this would be my mom used to own a BMW 525i from 1992. And Greg's got full dad mode. Yes, I have. My mom used to own a 525i BMW 5 Series from 1992. And it was not very powerful. I think it had 190 horsepower, but it had a 5-speed manual, and the engine was so smooth. It sounded so good. When my mom would come home from the store, I would know that she was coming home because it had a very, very particular sound to it. And it was not a rough sound. It was not a loud sound. It was just the hum of German inefficiency. It was just a great engine. It was a great sounding engine. It was a smooth engine. It was a beautifully done engine. And that's probably one engine I would put in here. It's not powerful. It's actually less powerful than the one it currently has. However, it's a 6. It is a manual transmission. And that sound and that feeling of nostalgia for childhood paired with this car, I feel would be such a great combo. Now we got 7 people on Facebook now. You guys are watching. Start commenting. What would you put into this car? The Neo 86 with the wide body. What engine would you put into this car? I'm going to look it up now. What engine this was, because I want to find out. What engine was in a 1992 BMW 525i? This engine is the E34 chassis, obviously. This is the MB50B25 inline 6, a 2.5 liter dual overhead cam unit producing around 192 horsepower. Hey, I remember things properly. 190, I said exactly those things. I can memory sometimes. I don't think this was a very special engine from BMW. But for me personally, this was a very special engine because of my childhood. And I remember hearing it coming home. It's the car I learned manual on too. Like initially, I didn't really truly learn manual until I bought my first manual car. But I learned like what a manual is, how it kind of works, blah, blah, blah. It's plus E34 5 Series, chef's kiss. They are super good and they're beautiful cars. I love them. I would love to own one day. Maybe like getting an E34 M5 would be so cool. But this engine I think would be such a really nice pairing for this car because it's unique. No one would see it. In the same vein, you could take the engine out of an E30 M3 and plop it in here. That would be very cool. What was the? That's the next one I want to look up. What engine was in the E30 BMW N3? That one is called the the 2.3 liter S14 4-cylinder, and that producing 192 to 200 horsepower. Again, that would also be a very cool because it's also a 4-banger. Right. So you're keeping it true to the GT86 ethos of like small car, 4-cylinder, light engine, low power. So like, again, that would be sort of in that same like ethos. I think that would be very cool. Chad gave me parameters of no K series motor, which sucks because I would totally drop an S2000 motor into this thing. And that would be freaking awesome. Buzz Bomb 9000. that would be yeah. So I mean, S2000 engine pairing with this would be totally cool. I'm trying to think of interesting, unique engines that we could potentially drop into this. I mean, you could do an Alpha 155 inline six, which would be crazy. Those sound insane. They make decent power for their time. It was like I want to say around 250 horsepower. So that's pretty spot on for what we're talking about for that chassis. That would be pretty crazy. You could put an old 90s era V8 in it, like an E34 M5. That would be pretty cool. S2K is F series. Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Okay, so S2000 F series engine. Then, I mean, I'd be cool with that. That would be a very interesting swap into this thing. Busso is a V6. Yeah, I mean, we talk about a lot. The Barra would be super fun to drop into this thing. I know Chad said no Rocketeer, but man, this car, with opening the hood and seeing a Rocketeer V6 into it with the freaking carbon fiber like just everywhere inside, like I don't think I could be unhappy looking at that, even if it had blown up and had there. I would just be like, amazing. I'm happy. So I don't know. I think interesting European 4 or 6 would be kind of cool because it's totally not what you would think, and you could get to that like 225 to 275 horsepower range, where it would be similar to what it's got / what the car needs totally. If I were to put something in here, Sean, small helicopter turbine in the car. Okay. I mean, 1, yes. 2, don't have infinite money. But for this specific car, something with 300 horsepower exactly would be really good because of the wide body, extra rubber, need a little bit more power, get it going. I think 300 is your sweet spot for this thing. Chad.
Greg.
Same question to you. And now I will be back.
Okay, so in no particular order, I would the first engine on the list. I don't know why I made the drum roll thing when you can't see my hands, but first engine on the list would be an EZ30, i.e. the flat 6 that came, or the flat 6 Subaru engine. Those things are strong, they're stout, they can make good power, and with the right intake on them, and I mean intake manifold, and the right exhaust on them, i.e. equal length headers, they come damn close to sounding like a Porsche GT3 RS engine. The EZ36, there is actually a swap. Someone has actually done that swap. And it sounds fucking epic. That's just a really cool engine. And the EZ30 theoretically would fit because let's face it, it's already wide enough to fit a Subaru Flat 4. And we know it's long enough because people put 2 JZs in there. So it should fit without much trouble. I mean, obviously you're going to have to do some maneuvering, so to speak. But I think that would be a cool option. Another one, Audi 4.2 liter V8. It came in the RS4, the V8 version of the Audi R8. 400-ish horsepower. A red line. It starts with an 8. That would be really, really cool. Also on that list would be, I don't know if it's the Duratec. Ecotech, maybe? No, Ecotech is Chevy. But another one on the list would probably be the 2.5 liter V6 that comes in the, among other things, the Contour, the Ford Contour SVT. Those engines have always interested me. I think again, it's a small displacement V6 with some work, could rev, with some revs, can make pretty decent power. Shit, I had another one that I was thinking and it just escaped me. What are we talking about? Ford V6. God damn it. What the hell engine was I just thinking of? Talking Ecotech. Oh! The 4.3 liter, as Sean will attest to, the modern 4.3 liter V6, pushrod V6, that you get in a whole host of GM offerings. That's basically an LTV8 that you get in, again, GM trucks, the Corvette, etc. But it's only a 6-cylinder with some work. You could get, and they make you want to get the one that doesn't come with cylinder deactivation, just for reliability's sake. And you could easily make 400 horsepower with it. As far as I understand it, those things on stock internals with boost will make 500 all day long. And you get a unique sound. Again, it's an engine platform. We know they make LS swap kits for it. The LT, while different, not that different, we know it's going to fit. And the idea of like a pushrod V6, kind of pushrod V6 with a turbo, giving off some, Grand National vibes. I think would make a really cool engine. And again, we're talking about like a GR86 Miata, that sort of size vehicle. Yeah, Sean, they make about almost 300 out of the box, and they make a metric, comparatively speaking, I think they make over 300 torque too. Like, it'd just be a cool engine to throw in there because it's different. It's different enough to where you don't see it, but not so different that it would make the swap almost impossible. Right? It has the same bolt pattern as an LT, so any manual gearbox that bolts up to that will bolt up to the V6. I forget the engine designation. I'm not going to go look it up just for take. Mike, hey, YouTube is back up and no longer censoring comments on its own. Mike Alfieri over on YouTube goes, Ecotech LSJ with a turbo, 400 all day, turbo stock bottom end. I have one at 90,000 miles and I beat it for 20 years. ARP head bolts, springs, and retainers. Easy to get 500 with rods and pistons. Now, like to cut of your jib, Mike. Welcome. You're a welcome addition to the Shifting Lanes garage. We'll just call it Cult. There's another engine that I don't know. Sean may see this engine coming. What is it? So, again, one of the Discord servers I am that we like to talk about cars and stuff like that. One of the guys just got a 2014 BMW wagon. 3 Series wagon. 328D. And apparently that N47 little 4